I hope that you are all fine today. This is Ms. Isra Saada from Science Team at New Generation Language School. By the end of the video, students will be able to determine the function of human locomotory system, determine the importance of human locomotory system, and finally identify the structure of human locomotory system. In the last session, we talked about the human locomotory system and the axial skeleton, and number 2, the appendicular skeleton, and after that we talked about the skull, then we talked about the backbone, and finally the rib cage. And in this lesson, or in this session, we are going to talk about the appendicular skeleton. Appendicular skeleton. Do you know that, my friends, appendicular skeleton consists of two parts. Number 1, bones of upper limbs, and like as you see in this picture, and number 2, bones of lower limbs, as you see in this picture. So first we're gonna talk about the bones of upper limbs. They are connected to shoulder bones. Again, they are connected to shoulder bones. Shoulder bones, as you see in this picture. Its function: allow eating, drinking, writing, and holding things. Again, bones of upper limbs, they are connected to shoulder bones, as you see in this picture. Why? To allow eating, drinking, writing, and holding things. Amazing. And number 2, bones of lower limbs. Bones of lower limbs. They are connected to pelvic bones. Pelvic bones, as you see in this picture, the red part. This is called pelvic bones. Pelvic bones. Pelvic bones. Okay? Why? To allow walking, running, standing, and carrying the rest of the body. Again, to allow walking, running, standing, and carrying the rest of the body. So the pelvic bone, it's called pelvic bone. Pelvic bones. They are connected to pelvic bones. Amazing. So the appendicular skeleton consists of two parts. Number 1, bones of upper limbs. They are connected to shoulder bones and bones of lower limbs. Amazing. And now it's your turn, Asil. We have here one question and 10 seconds to think. So the rib cage is main consists of pairs of ribs. Okay, and you have 10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Super, Asil. Clap your hands for Asil. You're amazing. You're amazing, Asil. Okay, and after that, we are gonna talk about the types of joints. So what is the meaning of joints? Joints is the location at which bones meet each other. Again, joints, it's the location at which bones meet each other. Amazing. So its function, they allow the movement between bones. They allow the movement between bones. And we have 3 types of joints. Number 1, immovable joints. Immovable joints, like the skull. Do you know that, my friends, they do not allow the immovable joints? They do not allow any movement. As you see in this picture, the joints between the skull, between the bones of the skull can't move. So they don't allow any movement. Example, the joints between the bones of the skull. And number 2, slightly movable joints. Slightly movable joints. As you see in this picture, do you know that slightly movable joints means allow movement in one direction only, as you see in this picture. For example, knee and elbow joints, as you see in this picture. Amazing. And the last one, freely movable joints. They allow movement in all directions. Okay? For example, as you see in this picture, the shoulder, wrist, ankle. So again, freely movable joints, they allow movement in all directions. For example, shoulder, wrist, and ankle. Amazing. So the types of joints we have here through 3 types. Number 1, immovable joints. Number 2, slightly movable joints. And finally, freely movable joints. First, movable joints. They do not allow any movement. For example, the joints between the bones of the skull, as you see in this picture. And number 2, slightly movable joints. They allow movement in one direction only. For example, knee and elbow joints. And finally, freely movable joints. They allow movement in all directions. For example, shoulder, wrist, ankle. Shoulder, wrist, and ankle. Amazing. And now, it's your turn, my hero. Okay, Jana, we have here one question. Mention the types of joints. Okay, and you have 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Super, Jana. Clap your hands for Jana. Excellent, Jana. You're amazing. Excellent, Jana. And thank you so much, my dear friends. And see you later. Goodbye.